Okay, you're all joking that you want a recipe from me, so I'm going to do one. I'm going to do focaccia, 5 ingredients: flour, salt, yeast, water, olive oil. I'm going to make it cool with some wild garlic that I've just went out and picked. You need to make it though. So we're looking at the ingredients to what we require to make a focaccia. Flour, T55, bread flour preferably. You can use normal plain flour. It'll be better if you've got bread flour. Dried yeast, 10 grams. Olive oil, good quality. Sea salt, not table salt, good quality. Tepid, not cold, tepid, lukewarm water. But then I'm going to make it cool with some wild garlic. So for the bread today, I'm going to use my KitchenAid mixer. I've got my little bay mix to make my garlic oil. If you don't have a mixer, then you're going to do it by hand. You're going to chop the things by hand, but I'm lazy and I've got the mod cons, so I'm going to use them. So what I'm going to use today for my focaccia to make it a little bit better is I'm going to use this, okay, wild garlic. It's so amazing. It's just in season. You'll be walking your dog or you'll go to walk along the canal and you won't even know it's there, but you can smell it. As soon as you see it, you'll now recognise it and you'll want to eat it, trust me, because it's almost like a mild garlic flavour. So it's like a leaf, you can eat it like a salad. And it's stunning. But instead of making a garlic butter, I'm going to make a garlic oil. So I'm just roughly chopping it. And like I say, this is it's in season right now. So I'm actually disappointed we can't use it in the restaurant because it goes amazing with like fish and pasta and lamb, beef, whatever, man. But I'm going to blend this into like an oil. So instead of just using olive oil to finish my focaccia, I'm going to drizzle all this kind of like garlicky, sexy, green, herby oil. Salt. The spice of life, yeah. I mean, it makes everything taste better, yeah. So I'm gonna throw that in there. Olive oil. I've got what I got from the shop because we're on rations. We don't have the quality stuff right now. Although it's decent now, to be fair. We're gonna blend it. If you didn't have a blender, a little hand blender that I have, you could use a pestle and mortar, old school, crush it down. You could chop this smaller, you could just mix it with the oil, you could throw it all over it. Again, if you made a salad, throw this in your salad. Nothing better than just getting a wee burst of garlic, and a little bit of salt, makes that even better, a little bit of salt. Even the oil made it taste better, peppery oil, lovely salt, nice kind of garlic. So I've got my bay mix, okay? And all I'm gonna do is kind of make like a paste almost. So that's it, you might not have a bay mix. Just chop it even smaller, mix it with your olive oil in a bowl, and then we could spread it on the same. Like this. This is going to be great. So I finished my, shall we just call it a garlic oil? Look at the colour, like I've not blanched it, it's just natural. It is so good, I swear, honestly, that's so yummy. So that's going to be what we're going to finish our focaccia with, me personally anyway. You don't have to do this, you could just do the focaccia bread we're going to make and don't cover it in this. That's not a problem. Me, I'm chefy, I want to go walk, I want to pick some wild garlic, I want to make it look cool, I want to give you inspiration, give you an idea, so I've done that. Okay, so I've weighed out my bread, and as I say, I've got the mixer here, so I'm going to do it in the mixer because then I can hold my phone, I can show you what I'm doing. If you're doing this by hand, you're just basically the mixer. You're using your hand and you're mixing it like the mixer would. So I've got 500 grams of T55 flour, so it's a bread flour. It's more refined, it's been milled more. That makes your bread better. If you only have plain flour, it is not the end of the world, okay? So what we're going to add to that? We're going to add tepid water. Tepid water means you can put your finger in it and it's slightly warm. It's lukewarm water. If it was cold, we wouldn't activate the yeast. If we don't activate the yeast, we won't have a beautiful, fluffy, sexy bread, okay? On top of that, we're going to add more salt. Sea salt again, not table salt. When we add the salt, we have to add it away from the yeast. We're using dried yeast. Easier to get in the shops, okay? If you mix the yeast and the salt together, you will kill the yeast. You cannot mix these two. They're not friends, they're not pals, they're not buddies, okay? So we're going to go down and we're going to see what we're going on in the mixer, and I'm going to add the ingredients and talk you through basically how the hell you make a focaccia bread. So my mixer is already mixed in. It's just flour in there. I've got a dough hook attachment on it, not a beater, not a whisk. Okay, I'm going to add my yeast, dried yeast. Let it mix in. No. So the recipe calls for 10 grams or so. I'm doing it by eye. Oil. Again, the recipe's calling for like 160 grams, I'm sure. But I've added, I would say about 40 or 50 grams. This is just to start the dough. Water. Now, the thing with bread is, it's scientific. There's more science to baking than you think. I'm going to add nearly all the water. Probably left 75 grams. This has been mixing for, I would say, 3 minutes. Now, the reason we don't add all the water at once is because, as I say, it's more scientific than you would think. The temperature of the flour, the temperature of the oil, the temperature of the water, the temperature of the room, the temperature of the bowl, the temperature of your bloody hands, everything matters, okay? So in bakeries, everything's probed. The flour's sitting at a certain temperature, the water is always the same temperature, the oil is always the same temperature. When you do it in the house, sometimes you just got to be a little bit more like common sense. Use your instincts. I'm looking at that and looking at the bottom thinking there's a lot of dry left at the bottom. It's going to take a little bit more water, okay? So here I go. Again, I'm not putting it all in now. Out of that 75 grams, I've probably only put in half. So again, 35 grams, which high working grams. A liquid water gram is the same as a milliliter, so it's 35 milliliters. And look at the change in the dough straight away. Stickier, tackier, wetter, which is what we want, because ultimately a focaccia is meant to be a tackier dough, okay? Sticky. It's a flatbread, it's not like a roll, it shouldn't hold its shape like a beautiful, the French would call it bout de pain, like a beautiful bread roll. And my instincts are going to say it needs the rest of this water, so I put it in. And I'm going to let it go again, and if you're doing this by hand, it's hard work. Yeah, I didn't say it would be easy, it works out your muscles. And it'll take probably 10 minutes by hand. This has been in now probably hitting 5. And I'm going to leave it for another couple and we'll have a look again. The dough is still sticking to the bottom of the bowl, but that's fine because that's what we want, yeah, a nice tacky dough. At this stage, even if you're doing it by hand, it'll be in the bowl. And even though I'm using the machine, I'm going to finish it by hand. So the next stage is we're going to tip this dough onto our bench, okay? Okay, super important part next. Even if you're doing this by hand, you're going to do the next bit. I've got my dough, quite sticky, tacky, but it feels nice. Like it's not sticking to my fingers. Like, I take it out. Can you see? So this is our dough. As you can see, it's nice, right? The machine's done the hard work for me, but at this stage I still want to knead it for 5 minutes. But what I need is oily fingers. Put some oil in your hands, coat your hands with the oil. Right, now we're going to knead. To knead means you stretch the bread and you pull it back. You turn it around. You stretch, you pull it back. Now we're going to knead the focaccia 5 minutes. I don't think you want to watch me do it for 5 minutes. So I'm going to turn this off again, and when we get there, we'll turn it back on. I'll tell you. Okay, so here's my dough. 5 minutes later, beautiful. Look at that, right? Sexy dough. It's a workout, but ultimately we're stuck indoors. We're not getting to the gym. Well, who'd have thought that doing this could actually hurt your arms, huh? It's a workout. So, what's next? We need to prove it. So to prove something is the science. We put yeast in it. Yeast is an active bacteria effectively, and it's a raising agent. And although we're making a flatbread, we still want it to puff up and get fluffy. So what we have to do is we have to put it into a warm place for a start, but I'm going to put it into a container, specifically a rectangular container. So focaccia normally is a rectangle. I want this to start the process, and I'm being rough with it because right now I'm not wanting to, I don't care how much air goes in right now. Okay, this is just to prove it. We're going to prove it. I'm lucky I've got a proven oven, so I can put it at 40 degrees Celsius, which is going to speed up the process. But you would put this in the warmest room of your house if you put it in an airing cupboard or put it in a utility room, or if your oven's on, which you should be preheated by the way to 220 degrees Celsius, then put it next to it, and here the oven's going to just kind of help it activate the yeast, and it's going to prove nice. You have to wrap this box with either a tea towel, clean, or me, I prefer cling film, because what we want to happen is trap all the gas that the yeast expels into the bread, and that's actually why it proves, right? Again, I'm not going to get into the science of bread, but if you want to, Google it. You're in the house, I'm sure you've still got it on the net, hopefully. So I'm going to prove this now for, I would say, roughly 45 minutes, or till it's twice the size, so doubled in size. If it doesn't, you've done something wrong. Okay, so your bread should have proved now for 45 minutes to maybe 1 hour, or till it's doubled in size. So like I say, I've had mine in my proven oven, so that's like 40 degrees C. So mine's only took 35 minutes really. Proper happy with it. I've clearly done it correct. My yeast is clearly still alive because this is what's happened. As you can see, it's proved. Okay, and as you can see that bubble on top of the cling film, that's the gas. The gas is trying to escape, so that's a good thing. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tip the focaccia out. With a lot of breads, what you do is you call knocking back. When you knock something back, you knock the air out of it and all that gas and all the yeast that's been activated. With the focaccia, a little bit different to most breads. Again, it's a flat bread, so we're not going to shape it to the most perfect little morning roll or little sexy little shape that you can do with other bread doughs. So with this, I actually don't want, oh, it smells like bread. I don't want to knock all the air out of it. I don't want to knock it back. Okay, so at this stage what you want to do is you want to get yourself a nice tray. Flat, it's not deep, it's not a bread tin, it's a tray, flat tray. So all I've done is got some olive oil that we've used inside the bread. I've rubbed it on the tray, that's going to stop it from sticking. So like I say, we want to gently knock this bread out of the box, not taking all the air out of it, and all the while trying to keep a little bit of that proved gas that we've added to it. And again, oil the fingers, gently. It should come out nice and easy. Right, look at that. My hands are all sticky, I don't really want to touch my phone, but I've not really knocked a lot of air out of it, and it's a rectangle shape still. So basically, just gently, this is going to make me one of my trays that I have. I'm going to bring that over. I'm going to just work on top of some mats just so that you can kind of see what I'm doing. So the bread's in, but we want to just gently kind of like lift it and push it into all these little gaps and corners of our tray, because we're going to prove it again, and then we're going to make it fluffy again. But at this stage, you know, it's going to find its own way. It's going to rise again, it's going to come into that tray again. So we don't need to be precisely filling all the tray, right? It just so happens, I didn't know this recipe would be the perfect fit for this tray. If you did make a little bit too much dough, then do 2 trays, or fill half the tray, or make it whatever hell shape you want. Classically, focaccia is a rectangle on the, like what you see in books. But you can be rustic, it's just do what you want, man. So to trap all that gas in again, cling film, but loosely. If we put it tight, we're going to stop the bread from proving. Gently, nice and loose. Okay. Or some people put it in like a bin bag and tie the bag, but I ain't gonna do that. Proven oven again, 1 hour again. Or for me, I've got that heat space, 30 to 35 minutes I can only assume, and then we'll have a look again. So when it goes in the oven, I'm obviously going to clean down, proper important, especially with what's going on. Kind of the reason I've done this video is if you're stuck in the house and you've got these ingredients, or someone can get you the ingredients, and you can try it, but you have to work clean. If you're not cooking, you're cleaning, we say in a kitchen. Anti-bac, keep your hands clean. Every time I've went and done this, I've actually washed my hands with what's going on. But it'll soon be time to try and enjoy this bread. So I'm pretty impatient when it comes to things like this, especially in the house, but I've held back. I've left it for 30 minutes, and again, you can see it's proved now almost like above the tray. The next stage, I can't really show you too well from this angle, but I'm going to try. We made our garlic oil. You can do this just with the olive oil now, if you want. Oil, or this amazing wild garlic oil, which I encourage all of you to go out, find the wild garlic, do what I've done, and do it this way because it's amazing. So let's get it on. I'm just going to make it like a garlic bread, so I'm putting loads on. Get it all on, in fact. So when you buy a focaccia from the shops, if you've had it in a restaurant, you'll normally notice it's the texture on the top's like indented. Well, we're going to do that. So mucky hands, ring off, sorry wife, rub it in, right? Gently, we don't want to kill all that yeast again, all that gas. But now, all of it, yes. Oh my goodness, that's so good. All 10 fingers into the dough to the bottom of the tray. Touch the bottom of the tray. Boom, boom, boom. Okay? I swear this looks so good, man. Can you see? So I've got my focaccia. It's all herbed up, it's got the oil, it's got all the salt, it's looking great, it smells amazing with the garlic. I've got the extra herbs, the rosemary, the oregano, you can go thyme, you can go parsley. This is going in the oven. So the focaccia's in the oven, 220 degrees Celsius, very high oven. My oven's got its cool setting, so it's a bread setting, so it's going to hopefully make it even better. I've not made bread in my oven yet, so I'm quite excited for what's going to appear out of the oven. 220C, roughly 12 to 15 minutes. Again, everyone's oven's different. Everyone's made this a little bit different. We've not all made it the exact same. Okay, so again, common sense comes in, and I'll show you how we test some bread out as well. So we've got the knowledge, and we can make other different breads. The same theory kind of goes. So the focaccia's in the oven. I'm still a few minutes away from it coming out, but I want to do one more little thing. Some people have never really used a knife before. I'm going to throw some fresh herbs on at the end, a little bit of my wild garlic through it, and some fresh parsley from the local veg merchant in Denny. Support the local small businesses now, because those are the ones that are going to suffer from all this shit. We're going to do something called hashing to make something very, very, very small, and we're going to make something from this large herb so we can sprinkle it all over our focaccia. I just thought I'd show you the technique since I've got 5 minutes to spare. So we roughly chop, put a hand on the top of your knife and kind of rock. You see, as you rock, you chop your herbs smaller and smaller, and what will end up happening is instead of people doing this, no one does that. Yeah, you rock. Hashi, fingers are out the way, look at that. Holding the bottom of the knife. Hashi the herbs until they're tiny. And then that's what's going to coat all over the focaccia is one extra little nice cool thing, so nice to see. Okay, so my focaccia is out the oven. I've got it on a cool wire. Mine took like 12-14 minutes. The bottom's nice hollowish sound. Okay, so it's firm on the bottom, it's still nice and soft and springy on the top. I'm going to let it cool before I cut it. Much like meat should rest or fish should rest before you eat it, you should really let bread rest, let it find its form. It's still cooking, it's still piping hot, so I mean the continuous cooking means it's going to finish its bake really out of the oven. It's resting, the dough's getting nicer, and it's going to be super good. However, at this stage, I'm going to put on my chopped herbs, my garlic and my parsley. So that right there is my focaccia with wild garlic, and lots of salt. So I've let my wild garlic focaccia rest just 5 minutes, because it's something that I really want to try. I'm quite impatient as it is, but I've left it 5 minutes. I'm going to cut around in the middle. I've not seen the inside of it. I hope it's how it should be. And then the thing is, I get to try it, and you kind of don't. Yeah, super nice that. So yeah, basically, I've done this video because ultimately we're all going to be stuck indoors very soon, if you're not already. I am. And if you do this, then that'd pretty be cool. I think it'd be cool if you did it. If you don't, and this gave you a laugh, so what? If I brought a smile to people's faces or whatever, then that's cool. But all I know is this is going to bring a smile to my face, so. It's good. And if you like this, then maybe I'll do another one. Let me make some cakes. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Just be kind. Hey, what do you think, guys?
Good. Good. Amazing. Delicious. This is good. Oh.
Do you know what you're eating?
What?
Wild garlic focaccia.
Huh? No.